Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Today I wanted to talk about all the books that I bought in the past month or so. I usually try to buy books from thrift books. I like thrift books a lot, so I have a lot of those in here today. I also went to Barnes & Noble a few times with my friends. Usually, like, whenever we hang out, we try to go to Barnes & Noble because we all like to read together. And, or I try to buy from Target. I don't try to order from Amazon anymore, but sometimes it's kind of inevitable. So there are a few Amazon books, I think. And I also don't support book outlets. So the three I try to use the most are thrift books, Target, and then my used local bookstore. And then Barnes & Noble sometimes if I feel like going out with my friends. But I kind of wanted to put that out there. That's where all these books are going to be coming from. So without further ado, let's get into it. Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This is from Barnes & Noble. This is about lesbian necromancers in space. Like the kicker really is what draws you in. And I heard a bunch of booktubers talking about this last year, and I only heard lesbian necromancers in space, and I was like, say no more. Put it on my list to buy. So I'm very excited about this. This is an adult sci-fi. So just know that there is some adult content in there, and it is hopefully gonna be good. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I have never read this, I'm kind of ashamed to say. In fact, the only Sarah J. Maas books I've read have been Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass. I mean, I have not progressed any farther into the Throne of Glass series. These, I've only read the two, and then this is my other delving into her writing. And I have no idea what this is about. I know that it's about a 19-year-old huntress, Faye, I don't know how to pronounce that name, I'm so sorry. She has a captor who is an immortal fairy, and his name's Tamlin, so say no more. I do love Sarah J. Maas's writing, and her romance is impeccable, amazing, so I'm excited to finally be reading that, and I did buy that from Barnes & Noble too. So next we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. My best friend Lily told me that I need to read this book, so this is her book. I borrowed it from her because she really liked it, and she primarily reads romance. This is a romance book, and I have no idea what it's about other than that. I think it's about, so Augustus is the boy who writes literary fiction. January writes best-selling romance, and they're polar opposites, and then they end up running each other and end up falling in love, I guess. So next we have Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. I bought this from Target. This is about a girl who is pursuing a career in music, and she ends up having some relationships with her manager, and then all of a sudden her manager is found dead, and now the police are at her door, and he was kind of abusive towards her, I assume, because it says in the synopsis that he wants to control every move with raging consequences. So she's being investigated for the murder of her music producer slash manager. So yeah, next we have An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I know that everyone and their mother has read this besides me, so I'm kind of like, okay, like, let's get into it. I bought this from Target. It's about Leia and Elias, and they're both under martial empire. When Leia's brother is arrested for treason, she is forced to make a decision. She has to become a spy for them within the Empire's greatest military academy. And then she meets Elias, which is the school's finest soldier, and secretly is most unwilling. So then it says, he and Leia will soon realize that their destinies are intertwined and that their choices will change the fate of the Empire itself. So this is like a classic. I need to read it. I know that I do. So, and the fourth book is coming out this year, so everyone's excited for that, and I'm just starting on the series. Oh well. Next we got The Shadow Crosser by J.C. Cervantes. This is the third book in the Storm Runner trilogy. This is a Rick Riordan Presents book. It's about Mayan and Aztec mythology. And our main character, he is disabled. He has like a bum leg, and he lives in New Mexico, and all of a sudden the volcano in their town like erupts, and a god is released, and he is the only person that can stop the god. So this is the third and final book in the series. I haven't read the second book yet. The first book was really, really good. I gave it like 4 stars, I think, and I'm excited to finish up that series. So yeah, next we have The Spellbook for New Witches by Ambrosia Hawthorne. Paganism and Wicca has always really interested me, just like overall witchy stuff, so I wanted to start reading about it. So this basically is about like different essential oils to use, like different crystals to use and stuff like that, and I just wanted to read it. So yeah, I got that from Amazon too, so that's like one of the books I got from Amazon. Next I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab. I got this in my Owl Crate box that I uploaded on my channel. My first ever video was unboxing this. This is a book about a girl named Addie LaRue who is in an arranged marriage during like the 1800s, and she doesn't want to be with the man that she's betrothed to. So she ends up running into the woods and finding a demon there, and he says that he can make a deal with her to help make her live forever. She can choose to die whenever she wants to, but the catch is that when she dies, the soul goes to the demon, and that whoever she meets in this world will forget her, and she cannot leave a mark on the world. Like, she can't even like break things, apparently, from what I read about. So I'm very excited to read this, and I'm so glad to have a copy of the Owl Crate edition, and I've heard such amazing things about it already, so I am so excited. Next we have The Similars by Rebecca Hanover. I got this from Thrift Books, so it is like a slightly used copy, but still in pretty good condition. It is like a YA thriller book about a girl named Emmeline, and she goes to a school called the Darkwood Academy, and the academy is making DNA duplicates of certain students, so they're called the Similars. And her best friend Oliver has recently died, and all of a sudden one day at school, a Similar that looks exactly like Oliver comes into her life and basically messes everything up. So she can't escape. So basically a lot of dark truths are coming out about her school, and that she can't escape them, and she feels very drawn to Oliver's DNA Similar, and she can't help but falling for him. So I'm very excited to read this. Don't know what to say about it. I haven't really dived into like YA thrillers before, mainly because I feel like a lot of people don't like them that much. I feel like if I'm gonna read a thriller, I want to have like adult topics in there, so I don't know. Hopefully it's gonna be good, so we'll see. Next is another used book. So as you can see, she's not in the best condition. She has a missing dust jacket, but we still love her all the same. So this is Once We Were by Kat Zhang. This is the second book in the What's Left of Me trilogy. I recently talked about What's Left of Me in my TBR video, which is basically about a world in the future where when kids are younger, they end up having a recessive soul and a dominant soul. So basically when they get older and they reach a certain age, the recessive soul ends up leaving. So the dominant soul is by itself in the one body until one day the main characters don't leave. So the recessive soul, our main character, doesn't leave her sister's or shared body. So this is kind of like the continuation of that. So I'm excited to read that, and I got there for like $2, so it was fine. And then lastly, we have Ironheart by Nina Varela. This is the second book in the, I guess, Crier's War. I think this is a duology, so the Crier's War duology. I have Crier's War right here, actually. So this is the second book in the series, too, if I can get it out. Of course, a bunch of books are going to come tumbling out. So this is the first book. It's about a time in the future where there's things called, what are they called? Autome. So they look like humans, but they're like robots or cyborgs, but they have a lot of human features to them, and the humans became slaves during a war. So our main character, what is her name? Ayla. So Ayla is a human, and she's a servant to the king and Crier. Lady Crier is the daughter of the king, and she has a plot to kill Crier because Crier's father ended up taking everything, like her family, and her family ended up dying under the king's, I guess is what you can call him, the king's rule. So she ends up making a plan to kill Crier, but then stuff happens. So this has a lot. This is a lesbian romance. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to read the second book because this first book I gave 5 stars to. So I'm very excited to read this one. So I got this from Amazon too. I pre-ordered it a while ago, but yeah. So I got this from Amazon, sadly. But anyway, that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It isn't as much as I usually buy. I usually buy more books in one month, but last month I didn't read a lot, so it was just kind of like I didn't feel justified for buying a bunch of books. So, oh well. I am excited about a lot of books though, so yeah. These are probably my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, so I was like, I have to make one. I knew that I had to. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!